Hey there, welcome to Kabrina Unscripted, coffee shop edition. So, today we're going to be talking about what happens when things fall apart when you least expect them, or when you're like, hey, I need this to work. So, this morning, if you are on my challenge for Scene in 13, so happy that you're also watching this live today. But what happened was that we had some technical difficulties, which made it really hard for people to get into the room. And, if I hadn't have been doing this for a really long time and know that tech occasionally will do this to you when you least expect it, no matter how much you've tested, no matter how much you've made sure that things are going to work, and realizing that you still have to show up. You have to show up bright, bubbly, ready to go, because at the end of the day, there is moments that these things are going to happen, and you're going to have to say, okay, I'm putting on my big boy or big girl pants and deciding to just show up, and in spite of all of the things happening, and just be you, be the person who you want to be, and be honest with people. I spent my whole morning retesting everything, making sure everything worked again, getting things back in order, resetting pages on the website, just to make sure that tomorrow we don't have the same problem. And so there's a couple of lessons here that I want to go over. The first one is, one, things are going to happen. So you have to have a backup plan. What does that look like? What does it mean when you have to go out and say, hey, this didn't go as planned? Second, be willing to say, I'm sorry. That didn't go exactly like I wanted it to. And I just wrote a whole entire post of like, hey, there's an elephant in the room of the fact that things didn't go like we wanted it to this morning. And not everybody got to show up in the way that I was hoping that you'd get to show up on day one. So being able to send that out, send out a personalized video to those people, those participants, and say, hey, so excited that you're going to be here tomorrow. Here's where the replay is. Here's all the things that you need. And it gave me the opportunity to put a couple of extra things into this challenge for people that we wouldn't have seen otherwise, because we would have had other things going on. So it gave me the opportunity to not just say, hey, things didn't work out like I wanted it to, but also, what can we add? How can we make this better? Not to necessarily cover up what's happened, but to also plus this for people coming forward. And the third thing that I want to talk about today, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time on, is that this idea of doing things more than once. Because if in my previous years of being in business would have only had this one challenge that was happening and not doing this every month for the rest of the year, I would have gone, oh crap, that's the only time I'm going to get to do day one. Day one is one of my favorite days, all of these things. And then I would have been really down on the fact that I wasn't able to do that again. But the great thing is that I get the opportunity to do this again, one, to practice for myself, but then for other people. Because so many times we let things hold us back that shouldn't, because of the fact that we're afraid that it's going to mess up. We're afraid that it's not going to go like we planned. We sit there and we fiddle with it, we fiddle with it, we fiddle with it until it's perfect. And there's no way for us to ever know that something is going to be perfect. Because even though, like for this challenge, I had tested everything, I've project managed other projects before, I made sure that everything worked, and came into the course several times and into the Zoom room several times, things still fell apart this morning that were out of my control. And we did what we could. We got a couple of people in there, and it was an amazing time together. But when we let things hold us back like that, we never actually create the things that we're here to create. And so one of the questions that I asked my group of people this morning was, when you're 100 years old and you've got your family standing around you, what is it that you want to be saying? Do you want to be saying, I wish I would have? Or do you want to be saying, oh my gosh, this is the cool things that I got to do? And when you answer that question, what is the answer to both of those? What's the cool things that you want to be able to say that you did? And what do you want to make sure that you're not regretting in the process of being on your deathbed? Because this is a very integral question to ask yourself, because If there's something out there that you want to be doing, but you're afraid to do it because somebody else is telling you not to, you are not showing up because you feel like you can't for some reason or another, you're not going and getting that next big job, you're not applying for the higher position, you're not creating the business that you want, whatever it is, on whichever side that you're on, that you're listening to me from, how do you want to feel at that moment? I would much rather have you decide that you're going to go do this thing and mess up, epically mess up, and be you showing up and being the person that you want to be so that you can strive towards that next big, better, best version of you versus you having to have regrets later on. I don't want you to look back at your life and go, man, I wish I would have. I want you to look back at your life and go, oh my God, look at the amazing things that I got to do with my life. Look at how I was able to show up. Look at the people I was able to help. Look at the things I was able to do. Look at the moments that I was able to have and to create for people so that you can really be happy with the life that you have. So think about that today. If you missed day one of the challenge, there is still time to get in. You can comment on this video. You can DM me, you can email me, whichever way you want to get a hold of me. I would love to have you a part of it, and just come and join the community. Whether it's this version of the challenge or you wait till November or December to come and join us, I want you to find a way to show up as you so that you can create content that resonates with you, resonates with your people, tells the stories that you want to tell, and creates the conversion that you're looking for, whether that is the higher paying job because you're trying to be seen on LinkedIn or you're trying to sell your services or products online. No matter what platform you're on, this will work for you. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow.